Hi, I'm Teresa, Lauren's grandmother.
I'm Michelle, Lauren's aunt.
I'm John, Lauren's grandpa.
I'm Lisa. I'm Lauren's mom.
I'm Lauren Kirk, and this is my persuasive speech. Every day, more and more companies and communities are putting the ban on plastic. Stores stop giving plastic bags, restaurants stop giving plastic straws, etc. Over the last 10 years, we have produced more plastic than during the whole of the last century. We currently recover only 5% of the plastics we produce. There are many alternatives to using plastic. Most plastic items can be made with paper or be switched out with reusable items. Throughout my speech, I will be giving you information about how plastic is made and recycled, about the plastic ban, and ways you can reduce your everyday plastic use. I will first tell you about how plastic is made and how it is recycled. This will help you gain knowledge and know the background of plastic. The term plastics includes materials composed of various elements such as carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, chlorine, and sulfur. Plastics typically have higher molecular weight, meaning each molecule can have thousands of atoms bound together. Plastics, also called polymers, are produced by the conversion of natural products or by the synthesis from primary chemicals, generally coming from oil, natural gas, or coal. The production of plastic uses around 8% of the world's oil production. Bioplastics are not a good solution as they require food source crops. There are two types of plastics based on processing, thermoset and thermoplastic. I will now go in depth about each type of plastic. A thermoset is a polymer that solidifies when heated or cured. Thermosets are valued for their durability and strength and are used often in automobiles and construction. The most common thermoset is the rubber truck and automobile tire. A thermoplastic is a polymer in which the molecules are held together by weak secondary bonding forces that soften when exposed to heat and return to its original condition when cooled back down to room temperature. Ice cubes are common household items which show the thermoplastic principle. Ice will melt when heated but readily solidifies when cooled. Thermoplastics are commonly used in food packaging. Examples include milk jugs and carbonated soft drink bottles. Plastic recycling is broken up into 6 steps: collecting, sorting, washing, resizing, identification and separation, and compounding. Generally, these steps remain the same for most types of recycling facilities, but certain steps can be combined or taken out in some situations. The first step in the recycling process is always collecting the plastic material that is to be recycled. After plastics are collected and transported to a recycling facility, the next step is sorting. They get sorted by type, color, or even how it was made. Next, plastics must be washed before they are further processed. The goal of this step is to remove impurities and everything that is not made from plastic. Resizing consists of shredding the plastic waste into small particles. This increases the surface area of the plastic, making it easier to process, reshape, and transport if needed. The identification and separation of plastics is when the now small plastic particles are tested to determine their quality and class. The qualities tested are density, air classification, and melting point. The final step is compounding. This is when the small particles are crushed and melted together into plastic pellets and then used in the production of their plastic products. Now that you know how plastics are made and recycled, I will now explain the ban on plastic and why it is important. Plastics are made from non-renewable resources and contribute to climate change. The majority of plastics are made from non-renewable fossil fuel-based resources, and through their extraction and production, they create greenhouse gases, which contribute to global climate change. The plastic does not truly degrade and breaks up into tiny little pieces that end up in the ocean to be consumed by wildlife. Virtually every piece of plastic that was ever made still exists in some shape or form. Using these non-renewable resources to make plastic bags is very short-sighted, considering that the typical useful life of each plastic bag is about 12 minutes. Other governments are banning plastic bags or making people pay for them. To date, more than 40 countries around the world have set a law on plastic bans. The United Nations Environmental Program has recommended a ban on all plastics globally. Annually, approximately 500 billion plastic bags are used worldwide. More than 1 million bags are used every minute. For those governments that are opposed to full bans, they are making a plastic tax, where customers would pay a small fee for each plastic. For example, bags at a grocery store. Plastics are very harmful to wildlife and marine life. Plastic are often mistaken for food by animals, birds, and marine life like fish and sea turtles. The consumed plastic congests the digestive tracts and can lead to health issues such as infections and even death. Billions of pounds of plastic can be found swirling in the oceans, making up about 40% of the world's ocean surfaces. 80% of pollution enters the ocean from the land. 1 million seabirds and 100,000 marine mammals are killed annually from plastic in our oceans. Now that you know more about plastics and why they are being banned, I will share with you ways that you are able to reduce plastic in your everyday life. One way to reduce is by purchasing reusable items. Reduce everyday plastics such as sandwich bags and juice cartons by replacing them with reusable lunch bags that include a thermostat. You can also carry around reusable utensils or straws. There are always alternatives to the plastic item that you rely on. Another way is making sure all the plastic items you use end up in the recycling bin and not the trash. Try to choose number 1, also known as the PETE, or number 2, also known as HDPE, which are the most commonly recycled plastics. Avoid plastic bags and foam because both typically have a very low recycling rate. The biggest way to make an impact is to spread the word. Talk to your family and friends about why it is important to reduce plastic in our lives and the nasty impacts of plastic pollution. Volunteer at a beach cleanup or a cleanup around your community. Though we can make a difference through our own habits, companies obviously have a much bigger footprint. If you believe a company could be smarter about its packaging, make your voice heard. I have now shared with you about how plastic is made and recycled, about the plastic ban, and ways you can reduce your everyday plastic use. In conclusion, enough plastic is thrown away each year to circle the earth 4 times. The Great Pacific Garbage Patch off the coast of California is the largest ocean garbage site in the world. This floating mass of plastic is twice the size of Texas, with plastic pieces outnumbering sea life 6 to 1. Plastic constitutes approximately 90% of all trash floating on the Earth's ocean's surface, with 46,000 pieces of plastic per square mile. There are many alternatives to using plastic. Most plastic items can be made with paper or be switched out with reusable items. I hope you learned more after I shared with you how plastic is made and recycled, about the plastic ban, and ways you can reduce your everyday plastic use. It is now your turn to reduce the amount of plastic you use and help make your environment a better place. It was long.
I'm Teresa, Lauren's grandmother.
I'm Michelle, Lauren's aunt.
I'm John, Grandpa.
I'm Lisa, Lauren's mom.
I'm Lauren Kirk, and that was my persuasive speech.